Welcome back to the More You Know. This episode, we will focus on our boards, commissions, authorities, and elected positions at Green Township. We will start with Parks and Rec. They are a commission. They and our township supervisors are governed by something called the Pennsylvania State Second Class Township Code. This slide shows the front cover of that book. Parks and Rec members are appointed by the Board of Supervisors and are an advisory board, basically meaning that they only have powers specifically delegated to them by the Board of Supervisors. They serve a 5-year term, and it's not a final term. They can stay on the board if nobody's waiting for that position until their successor is appointed. Parks and Rec is the team basically that puts together all of the events that you see going on in the township each year. They're, the Grinchmas, the drive-through turkey dinners, etc., all of those things. They're also the team that managed and coordinated the completion of the Playground Paradise and the Paradise walking trail for everyone's enjoyment. You can see the current members here. There will be 2 seats available at the end of this year for anybody who is interested. They meet on the first Tuesday of each month. Next is the Planning Commission. They are governed by something called the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code. The Planning Commission is an advisory board, just like the Parks and Rec Commission is. They are also appointed by the Board of Supervisors. They are a 3-person board at this point and have 3 alternate positions. Their terms are 4 years and until their successor is appointed, just like the Parks and Rec. The Planning Commission basically is your first stop when you are seeking to subdivide your property. They help you stay within the township guidelines and help you kind of through that process. They ultimately provide advice to the Board of Supervisors on whether or not the subdivision request should be granted. There will be 1 seat available at the end of this year on the actual board. There is also 1 alternate seat available right now as we speak. The Planning Commission meets monthly on the 3rd Monday. The Zoning Hearing Board, like I said, they are governed also by the Municipalities Planning Code of Pennsylvania. They are currently a 3-person board with 3 alternates. The members also, like everything else, are appointed by the Board of Supervisors. This board stands apart from the other boards. It is quasi-judicial, meaning they have their own solicitor. Their decisions are final for the most part. They can be appealed, however. So an appeal to the Zoning Hearing Board would go straight to the Court of Common Pleas. They do have their own stenographer that's in this hearing that acts as the secretary, if you will. So their decisions basically are final. They're not shifting anything over to the supervisors to make a decision for. And they hear things requiring special exception or variances that are requested by any of the residents. They have a 3-year fixed term, and the alternate's term is also fixed. And this means basically that when the 3rd year comes and goes, they have to step down from their position. And then it is, if nobody's waiting for it, then it basically stays vacant. I'm super excited that this last a request for people to step up for some positions on the zoning hearing board. We had 9 people come forward. Ultimately, we chose 2 people for the zoning hearing board and 1 for the planning commission. All of those folks will be appointed officially at our February Board of Supervisors meeting. They do meet monthly, but only as needed. So only if a hearing is coming up, they meet on Mondays. The Sewer Authority. So the Sewer Authority was established right when they put the sewer in. They're kind of their own entity. It's a 5-person board. They are appointed by the Board of Supervisors. Their term is 5 years, or until the successor is appointed. I would like to thank Randy Kunkel and Aaron Jamalowitz for stepping into 2 positions that were recently open. The Sewer Authority manages basically all things related to sewer. Their meetings are open to the public and are the 2nd Tuesday of each month. I will go into the elected positions specifically because it's an election year for municipalities. The school board will also have some seats available. I won't get into that. You can see we have the 3 supervisors. There is 1 supervisor seat available and up for re-election this year. Supervisors meet technically 3 times a month. They are paid $1,875 per year to be a supervisor. A supervisor is separate from being actually employed by the township. It is not required to be employed by the township if you are elected a supervisor. Next is our auditors, and they also serve a 6-year term. There is no limit to the consecutive terms they can serve. We have 3. One is up for re-election this year. They meet one time a year. Their role really is to set the wage of each supervisor that is employed by the township. Then we have a tax collector. It's obvious what the tax collector does. His term is 4 years. Again, no limits to consecutive terms. Our constable was elected actually last year. He has a 6-year term. He assists the district judge basically with serving arrest warrants and search warrants and a ton of other things. He actually can do quite a few things for the township as well. And then our district judge has a 6-year term, and she is located inside our building, and she does things like issuing the search warrants and arrest warrants and things all the way from that to, mediating landlord tenant disputes or performing weddings. So she does all kinds of things. I'm not going to get into the school board at this point. You can look at Wattsburg's website and find out who is up for re-election, but the school board members, I don't even know how many, 4 or 5, not sure, are up this year. So there's a lot going on in the township, and these local elections really do mean a lot, specifically to you and me. So if you want more information specifically related to the election stuff, you can find it at eriecountypa.gov. Their website is very helpful with voting, and if you want to be a candidate, there is also an informational session that's going to be held on the 8th, I think, of February at the Blasco Library for anybody who would like to run for an office. We do have an application at the office. I will get it up on the website for any volunteers for any of the boards or commissions that may be having seats come available at the end of the year. Or even the open planning alternate seat right now if you're interested. Otherwise, have a great day.